Welcome, everyone. Imagine a world where one man can turn ordinary investments into extraordinary fortunes, where his strategies are considered the gold standard for wealth creation. Today, we're diving into the story of Peter Lynch, a man who redefined the art of investing and became America's #1 money manager. But how did this seemingly ordinary individual turn into one of the most successful investors of all time? Let's take a deep dive into the life and career of Peter Lynch and uncover the secrets behind his remarkable rise to the top. Peter Lynch's journey to becoming a legendary investor didn't start with silver spoons or family wealth. What drove a young man from Boston to challenge Wall Street's most seasoned professionals? Lynch's story began at Boston College, where he earned a degree in history. Little did anyone know, this history major would become a force to be reckoned with in the world of finance. In fact, it was his interest in the stock market that led him to work at Fidelity Investments, eventually becoming the manager of the Fidelity Magellan Fund in 1977. How did a relatively unknown fund manager take the reins of a small, underperforming fund and turn it into one of the most successful investment vehicles in the world? Lynch's investment philosophy was simple but profound. Buy what you know. He didn't rely on complicated financial jargon or market predictions. Instead, Lynch believed that everyday people could spot winning stocks just by observing the world around them. Could the key to extraordinary wealth really be as simple as noticing the products you use daily? Lynch used to say that if you loved a company's product, whether it was Dunkin' Donuts, Ford cars, or Hanes socks, you could likely make a successful investment by buying the stock. His strategy revolved around familiarizing himself with companies from a consumer perspective, which was revolutionary at the time. Could this unconventional approach to investing really work in a world dominated by expert analysts and stock market professionals? As Lynch's reputation grew, so did the performance of his fund. By the time he retired in 1990, Fidelity Magellan had grown from $18 million in assets to $14 billion. What was it about Lynch's approach that allowed him to outperform the market year after year? Part of the answer lies in his ability to identify long-term growth opportunities. Lynch didn't focus on short-term gains or chasing the next hot stock. Instead, he looked for companies with solid fundamentals, strong growth potential, and management teams that he could trust. Could this long-term, value-oriented approach to investing really be the secret to lasting success? But Peter Lynch wasn't just an investor, he was a teacher. How did Lynch manage to demystify the world of investing for everyday people? In his best-selling book, One Up on Wall Street, Lynch shared his investment principles with the public, encouraging ordinary people to take control of their financial futures. He introduced the idea of doing your homework, researching companies, understanding their products, and looking at their financials before buying stock. Could Lynch's message of empowering regular investors be the missing link for those struggling to navigate the complex world of finance? His approach was refreshing because it allowed investors to trust their own instincts rather than relying on expert opinions or insider tips. But not everything about Lynch's career was smooth sailing. What happens when a legendary investor faces his first major challenge? In the 1980s, during the height of Lynch's career, the stock market underwent massive fluctuations and the economy experienced several downturns. Yet Lynch continued to defy the odds, outperforming his peers and consistently posting solid returns. How did Lynch manage to keep his cool during these volatile times? Lynch's ability to remain calm under pressure was one of the key factors that made him successful. Instead of reacting to short-term market movements, he stayed focused on the fundamentals of the companies in which he invested. Was this unwavering commitment to his strategy the key to his success in a world that often seems to be driven by fear and greed? As Lynch's fame grew, so did his influence over the stock market. Could Lynch's success have inadvertently shaped the way investors think about stock picking? After all, his Magellan Fund became a beacon for investors looking to replicate his strategy. But with success came imitation, and soon everyone wanted to be like Peter Lynch. However, Lynch himself cautioned against following the crowd. Could the drive to replicate Lynch's success be the very thing that sabotaged many investors who came after him? Lynch warned against the danger of following trends and becoming too enamored with short-term gains. What would happen if you ignored Lynch's advice and followed the latest hot stock tip instead of focusing on fundamentals? The answer is simple: you might end up losing everything. Yet, despite his immense wealth and success, Lynch remained humble. What was it about his personality that made him one of the most approachable figures in finance? Unlike many other high-profile investors, Lynch didn't shroud himself in secrecy. He didn't make his billions by hiding behind closed doors or using insider information. Instead, Lynch spent years traveling across the country, meeting with company executives, and even visiting factories to better understand the businesses he invested in. Could Lynch's dedication to truly understanding the companies he invested in be the reason he was able to maintain such a high level of success for so many years? But as with all great success stories, there are always those who question the long-term sustainability of such an approach. What happens when the strategy that worked so well for Lynch starts to show cracks in the face of a rapidly changing world? As Lynch's time at Fidelity Magellan came to an end in the early 1990s, many wondered if the investing world had changed too much for his methods to continue working. The rise of technology stocks, the internet boom, and the increasing complexity of financial markets meant that the world Lynch knew was no longer the same. Could Lynch's strategy, rooted in understanding companies and their products, survive in a digital age where information was moving faster than ever? Despite these changes, Lynch's approach to investing continues to resonate with many investors today. Why does Lynch's philosophy still hold so much weight, even decades after his retirement? Perhaps it's because his strategy was rooted in timeless principles. He didn't invest based on hype or speculation. He invested in companies that were fundamentally strong and offered long-term growth potential. In an age where so many investors are looking for quick wins and instant gratification, Lynch's patient approach to wealth building still stands out. Could it be that Lynch's ability to see beyond the immediate challenges of the market is why he remains one of the most respected investors in history? Even today, Peter Lynch's lessons continue to inspire investors of all backgrounds. Could it be that the true legacy of Lynch's career isn't just his wealth or his success, but the impact he had on how we view investing as a whole? He made stock picking accessible to everyone, not just the wealthy elite. His approach turned the intimidating world of finance into something that ordinary people could navigate with confidence. Could Lynch's greatest achievement be his ability to democratize investing and inspire countless people to take control of their financial futures? Peter Lynch's story is not just one of financial success, but of a philosophy that has shaped how we think about money, investing, and wealth. His career wasn't about complex formulas or insider secrets. It was about understanding the businesses behind the numbers and making investments that would stand the test of time. Was Peter Lynch America's number one money manager because of his brilliance, or was it because he made investing something that anyone could understand and master? Thank you for joining me on this incredible journey through the life of Peter Lynch. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on the notifications so you never miss another deep dive into the world of finance, investing, and legendary figures who shaped our world.